Hi, and welcome to Rabbit Moon Tarot. My name is Angel, and I'll be doing a collective read today regarding the solar eclipse. Now, depending on where you are in the world, it either happens on a Friday or a Saturday, which is why I'm trying to do it now, because the energy, regardless, is upon us. And so if you've been here before, you'll know that I've been putting chapter markers into my videos so that you can stick around for an oracle read or the tarot read. It's in the timeline or in the description box below. However, if this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on my video and taking a chance on my tiny little channel. I am going to do a little bit of a tarot oracle intro. It's nothing too extensive, just my perspective on it. And if you're new to tarot and readings, might give you some food for thought. So, tarot and oracle are tools for self-reflection. It's meant to help guide you when you're using your own inner moral compass to pursue your own particular brand of happiness. For me, when I pull these cards, I'm an intuitive reader, and I work with my ancestors and my guides. So when a card comes out and I said, hey, this card came out, intuitively I will read the energies that the spirits are bringing forward, but also the cards represent themes, patterns, cycles, archetypes. It's up to you as the viewer to decide, does that resonate with me? And if it does, why? What part of it is it, addressing? What part of it sounds familiar? And why does it sound familiar? Now, there's also the chance that it won't resonate because this is a collective read. I'm tapping into a lot of different energy all at once. So if it doesn't resonate, that's totally okay. Just leave it here, come back maybe another day, or maybe later in the reading, something will resonate. Don't worry about that part too much because ultimately, you are the grand maestro of your own destiny. And I'm someone who believes in fate and destiny. I do, but I believe it only takes you so far. It presents you the opportunities, the pathways, the doorways, the portals, if you will. But it's up to us. It's up to you to decide whether or not to act or not to act, to say or not to say, or to completely not even choose either option, because ultimately you have free will and you have full autonomy. And you are the grand maestro of your own destiny. So don't give up all your power to a tarot reading. It is simply a tool for self-reflection on your journey called life. Okay, so that's it. But let's get some energy about how is the collective feeling energetically as big themes before going into this solar eclipse. Let's get some cards and see what it says. I do have to say, eclipse energy is about profound transformation. Wow, you've got to be kidding me. I said profound transformation and my candle just went out. That, to me, is a sign. There is... Oh my gosh, I just heard where there's the end of one flame, another shall be lit. Now, of course, I have to go get another candle because I like to have my moon and my sun. But when I said this is a time of profound transformation, I am not kidding. Let me go get a new candle and we'll continue on. Well, if that wasn't the symbolism that is of profound transformation, moving from an old version to this new version. From the old candle to the new candle. And it was ready right during my solar eclipse reading. And the ending of one sun cycle is the birth of another sun cycle. So we might really be... I'm getting like all tense in my chest. Hold on just a second. Apologize if that was really sharp. I just want to get myself ready for this reading. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get into this energy. What are the major themes, the major energy that the collective is going into this solar eclipse? And obviously it's about deep, pivotal transformation. Where are we starting from? Okay, so the first card out we have Azura as the star. I love it already. Okay. We have Esbern as the Hangman. And then we have Julianos as the Hierophant. All right, let's get into these cards. So, the collective, you all have been focusing on your wants, needs, and desires. There's a certain level of fulfillment. I hear a hope in your heart. There's a certain level of fulfillment and hope in your heart. It feels like someone or a group in this collective that is truly hoping that with this solar eclipse, things can actually change for you to attain a certain want, need, or desire, this kind of soul fulfillment. I heard I'm banking on this energy. I'm hoping with all of my heart during this incredibly transformative solar eclipse that finally I will have access to the things that I hold dear, the hope that I have in my heart, the things that I've been wishing and putting my energy towards. And then we have Esbern as the Hangman. Now, the Hangman I do read as two different ways, and it actually kind of resonates for this reading both ways. When I feel from the collective that there's a certain group of you that's really hoping, really counting on this solar energy transformation, this pivotal transformation to truly change things, is because some of you may feel a little stuck. Like you have an idea of what you want, what you need, what you desire, what is your soul wish, but you're feeling a little stagnant. Okay, you've been feeling like you're not making any headway. So you're hoping with this solar eclipse that it will shake loose anything that's holding you back, that it will help you metamorphosize or transform, alchemize, transmute that energy that you've been putting in that seems to have gotten stagnant, stale, or stuck, and give it new life to push you forward, give you that forward moving momentum. Although for a smaller group of the collective, it feels like through this stage of, I would say, I heard quiet contemplation, so very hermity energy. You've, through the difficulty, through the pain, through the disappointment, you've learned something about yourself, something that you likely wouldn't have recognized had you not gone through the experience that you did. And because you have more experience under your belt, you understand what you want, need, and desire better, that through this experience that was both painful but also educational, that you're seeing things from a different perspective. And honestly, it feels like it has to do with how relationships are handled in your life. It could be about structure, it could be about hierarchy, it could be about family dynamic. Like the affixed structures to family dynamic. But what this feels more is how you commit yourself to certain relationships. Maybe it also could be how serious you are about relationships. Having gone through what you've gone through, seeing things from another perspective, you understand what you want in a relationship. The absolute green lights and the absolute red flags. The absolute of what you will exactly accept and what is unacceptable in your relationship. Having defined boundaries, borders, structure to your relationships, and not allowing things in your life that you don't want to put up with anymore. Having a defined sense of structure in your relationships. I'm sorry, I have a hiccup, and that usually means I'm channeling. So this is the energy we're starting with coming to the solar eclipse. There's a hope in your heart that this solar eclipse, and I keep doing this because this candle is now representing, it went out and it turned bright again. It's literally representing the eclipse in my mind. Take it as it resonates, but for me as an intuitive reader, that is what that's representing right now. The star card is about the hopes, dreams, and wishes, the hope in your heart that this solar energy or solar eclipse will help transmute, transform, alchemize, what you want and need into reality. You've learned a lot, either from a point of feeling stagnant or stuck and it forced kind of a life review, or from the situations that you've dealt with that were less than ideal, that while they were painful, they were also educational because it helped you create a structure in your mind of what you do or don't want, what you will absolutely, wholeheartedly move towards and accept because they're green lights, and drawing boundaries and recognizing these serious red flags that you will absolutely no longer accept. You will no longer overlook. I just heard this is about self-respect, loving yourself, and I'm hearing self-respect, loving yourself, and recognizing you're worth all of this effort. You want to, so you want to transmute maybe a lack mindset or a lack mentality into one in which you believe in yourself, where you accept healthy relationships because you believe you deserve healthy relationships, where you move towards wants, needs, and desires because you have hope in your heart and you believe you deserve them. That feels good. I'm going to pull some cards as to what we currently, for this weekend, what we're currently going to experience, and then also the things that may present a roadblock. And the reason why I say that is when we go through deep transformational moments in our lives, when we experience change, there's parts of us that always want to move towards change. And then there's always parts of us that can be scared of change, that will, what's the word I'm looking for? I heard rebuke, and that's not the word I'm looking for, but if it makes sense to somebody, where we move towards change in one aspect, but at the same time we push it away because we have lived so long in a certain energy. It's part of that push and pull dynamic of being reborn. If you can imagine like a chick being born from an egg, or a butterfly emerging from a cocoon, that cocoon or that egg is very solid, and the little life inside is pushing and pushing and pushing to get out, to be born, or for us being reborn into this new version of ourselves. But that egg or that cocoon was tight to protect us, but now we're trying to break free, but it still wants to hold its integrity. It still wants to hold us tight. So we kind of have to push a little bit. So what are things that the collective is feeling and will experience this weekend? Because we have one. So we have the card Fall. Now, this may have to do with something that took place fall of 2024. Take it as it resonates. Maybe some emotional, I'm hearing somewhere between August and November, some emotional thing that happened that was almost like a trigger, that maybe it whatever emotional trigger happened during the fall led to two different reactions. Either A, it felt like it catapulted you forward into change. Like whatever happened the fall was like something happened and you were like, okay, okay, it's go time. I need to change. I need to work on self. I need to do this. And there was like a forward push. It catalyzed you. For some, though, whatever happened in the fall, whatever emotional thing happened in the fall made you kind of pull in. And that's not to say that you didn't have forward progress. While one energy was catapulted forward and saying, I need to change this. I want to do this. I need to do better for myself. I need to treat myself better. Like that forward catalyst. For some, the moving back wasn't literally moving back, like taking step backs and like regression, not like that, but pulling in to look internally. Something emotional happened in the fall. For some, it catalyzed them forward to seek, self-growth, self-help, self-healing, playing an active role in their emotional and mental health. While some pulled in and had a lot of deep contemplative energy as far as, why do I do this? Why am I like this? Why have I accepted less than I deserve? A lot of pulling in energy and self-examination. Both are healing in different aspects. But there was a response in two different ways. And oh my gosh, I say two different ways because I'm hearing solar and lunar energy. Solar and lunar energy. So those that resonate with solar energy, may have reacted in one way, and some who resonated with lunar energy could have reacted another. So, okay, so what do you have here? Something. Okay, fresh start. Okay, so this goes in line with what I was saying. Whatever emotional thing happened in the fall, whether or not you were catalyzed to take action to change, self-help, self-healing, self-examination, and outward expression of healing, moving and shaking and making decisions in their lives to change. Others moved back, I don't want to say moved back, moved inward rather, to self-examine about what needed to change, why their behaviors were the way that they were, why the decisions that you've made in the past, why did you make them? Why did you accept less than you deserve? Why did you act in those ways? How can I change? Like inward. All of that was in pursuit of a new start. I feel like the collective back in the fall fully felt like 2025 was going to be the year of their emotional, spiritual, and mental rebirth. Okay. Okay, so now I'm being asked to pick a different deck that will signify what the collective may not understand or may not see during this eclipse weekend. What are some of the... Okay, I've heard, what are some of the shadows that may... Oops. What are some of the shadows that may pop up as a response to this transformative energy? Again, like I was saying, the cocoon or the egg, is built to protect. So you could see that as a past version of yourself where you've built up a protective shell or a protective wall around you to keep you from being hurt. But this solar energy, the solar eclipse, is asking for you to be reborn. This is a deeply transformative time. You are literally becoming a different version of yourself. I don't even want to say that, like, you're healing one aspect or another. This feels like an overhaul. Truly, this feels like an overhaul. And the cocoon or the shell that once protected you is now holding you back. When the little critter inside is trying to be born, that shell or that cocoon is trying to keep its integrity. But that little critter inside's got to bust forward, has to push, has to persevere. So in that way, I feel like during this transformative time, what is part of our shadow shell or shadow cocoon that is going to pop up, that's going to make this transformative moment not like a seamless transition. There's some shit you're going to have to deal with during this transformative time. So let's see what we have that may come up for this is not saying that every person in the collective is going to feel this way, but some in the collective may run into these proverbial snags as they're trying to move towards this deeply transformative moment in their time, in their life. deeply transformative moment in time. There we go. Okay. So we have stagnant. I can't even make this up. I said earlier that there was a certain level for the collective going into this solar eclipse. There may have been feelings of being stale or stagnant or stuck, but wanting so much to move forward, to gain momentum, to pursue what it is in your heart. You want this fresh start. You want to be able to start again. You want to be able to wipe the slate clean to start again. The shadow that may pop up during this transformative time, the bits of egg shell or cocoon that's still holding like a hard exterior to try to protect you, is what you, again, it used to be a protective mechanism, but now it's a mechanism that may be holding you back, and you have to push your way forward. You have to push forward through the stagnancy in the sense that, hear me out. There's people in the collective that want this change. Absolutely, 100. I do not doubt that. They want this change. However, there is comfort in knowing what to expect. I said this in another reading. I believe it was yesterday's reading. But there's comfort in knowing what to expect. Like this energy here that I said was concerned about being stagnant or stuck, and they have hope in their heart for this deep transformative change. But they've been living in this old energy that is about to be shed like a snake skin, like a shell, like the shell of a chick being broken apart, the cocoon that's no longer holding the butterfly to be born. There is comfort in that protection, because you know what to expect. You lived with it for so long. You understand that energy. So there's a part of you, if this shadow bubbles up, it might be anxiety or fear of change. Even if you deeply want it, you're struggling, you're having an internal battle with yourself over wanting the change. But also I'm hearing the saying, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Like you want to make the progress, but you're also kind of reverting back to old energy because you know what to expect there. Moving forward in this deeply transformative solar energy, yes, it is change, but you don't know what that change will lead to afterwards. And that is a little bit anxiety provoking. And so there is this shadow energy that wants to pop up to say, hey, wait a minute, maybe we're not ready, kind of like that. Wanting to hold you back. This may be something that during this weekend we're going to be struggling with as a collective. What else might we struggle with as a collective during this transformative time? Void. Like, there is honestly a fear of the unknown. Something happened last year during the fall that catalyzed you to want to change, to want better for yourself. Either people were catalyzed forward, maybe they went out and joined a gym, started eating better for themselves, quit smoking, got out of that bad relationship and started focusing on like, I want better, right? It catalyzed you to action. And for some, it incentivized them to go inward and ask themselves, why do I do this behavior? Why am I stuck in this cycle? Why do I accept less than I know that I deserve? Why am I so anxious about being intimate? And I don't mean physically, I mean close, vulnerable. Why am I so afraid of being vulnerable and intimate with someone? Both energies want this fresh start. And when we move towards the solar energy, what we're seeing for some, that if this energy pops up, they're afraid of the change. There's comfort in being where you were. There's comfort in where you came from. Because moving forward is the unknown, the void. You don't know what to expect. And thus it creates anxiety. But I said yesterday in a reading, comfort inhibits growth. You've called in this change. was it yesterday's reading or the day before? You might want to look at the reading yesterday or on Monday. 2 readings prior to this one. One of those 2 has a similar energy. I feel like this is a carryover, and maybe this is the solar eclipse's energy, like far reaching even before it shows up today / tomorrow for whoever reads or watches this. Oh, okay. I'm being told I need one more card on each side. Okay, so we need more explanation as to what was going on then and what could possibly happen this weekend. Okay, so what else was happening then that will give us more context? Third party. Now that doesn't always have to mean a third party as in a third person. It could be outside influences. So if this has to do with changing how you view your relationships, whether they're familial, platonic, professional, or romantic, there's some aspect that always seems to kind of like weasel its way into relationships for you. It doesn't always have to be romantic, but oftentimes it is when this comes up, but just take it as it resonates. Something happened during the fall that catalyzed you forward or incentivized you inward, right? Because you want a fresh start. But there always seemed to be something that was holding you back from the fresh start that you wanted. Whether or not it was a financial aspect, whether or not it was a friend group that was holding you back. Maybe you were in a relationship that was disempowering and unsupportive and basic, you know what I'm saying? There was always something that weaseled its way into all of your relationships that prohibited you from the fresh start that you sought. But again, even if you couldn't get the fresh start going last year, it could not, the third party could not stop you from being catalyzed forward into taking action, going to the gym, eating better, kicking the smoking habit, disengaging from toxic friends. And it also couldn't stop you from incentivizing yourself to go inward, to be like, what do I really want? Why do I accept this? XYZ. I said what I said. Now, what other shadows could pop up? What other inhibiting energy could pop up during this solar eclipse? Disillusioned. I feel like some of you these all kind of go together. There's a specific energy in the collective that hold on, let me fix my rig because it likes to decide to wiggle forward or backwards and I'm not really sure why. But there's some energy in the collective that is, I feel like, almost has lost hope for whatever change they were seeking. It's almost like they asked for this change. Like I said, the 2 readings that I did before this reading felt very similar. So if this resonates with you, look at the last 2 readings that I did. Anyways, there is an energy that feels like it's losing hope. Like maybe the opportunity has come and gone and they don't know what to do. Maybe you don't know what to do. And it's easier just to say, well, I'll just stay where I'm at this job, in this relationship, in this living situation, with this friend group, because maybe things have gone too far and there's nothing really I can do. I've made my bed, so now I have to lay in it, kind of thing. And so there is a loss of hope, but even if this bubbles up this weekend, again, the protective cocoon or shell is now stopping you from experiencing life. Allowing the old version of yourself to persist is limiting your happiness, is limiting your growth, is limiting the possibilities. And this solar energy, this deeply transformative energy, is here knocking at this door and being like, answer the door. You asked me to come over. You asked me to help you move. You asked me to help you level up. You asked me to spot you at the gym. I'm here to help you with that. Why aren't you answering the door? This may pop up for some of the collective. Okay, so I'm going to use this keywords deck. And the thing about this keywords deck is that generally the keywords on it have both positive and negative connotation, and then based on what my eyes are drawn to first is going to help me understand more about this person and the situation, and then I'll pull some major arcana cards from the Skyrim Tarot to kind of close up how we will feel after this solar eclipse. Okay, so let's get some cards. So right away, the first thing I saw was insight and wisdom right away. And I can't even focus on anything else. I'm just seeing insight and wisdom, insight and wisdom. So my guides are saying, okay, sorry, my guides sometimes get a little sassy, but that's just, this is how it is. My guides are saying they know better. They know better than to let this, oh my God, they know better than to let this shit grab hold of them. They know better. They know that the opportunity has not gone. They know that there's never a stop to opportunity. It's what you create. If there's a stopped opportunity, it's because they put the kibosh on it, that they are themselves stopping it. They're letting their ego, not arrogance, ego as in self-limiting thoughts, the pressures of society and media that force us to think that we need to be a certain way, look a certain way, accomplish certain things by this time in our lives, right? It's letting your ego run rampant when I'm hearing you are smarter than this, you are wiser than this, you know from a soul level that the opportunity, this level up that you were hoping for, that you asked, that you called in, has not passed you by. If you don't take this chance now, it is you who is inhibiting it, not the universe, not other relationships, not people. It is you. And the opportunity may come around again. It just will take longer. Let's get some more cards. So then we got countryside, rural beauty, peaceful retreat, simple living. So this makes me feel that there's some connection to a rural life or a rural location that it's not even just this, like, I mean, in this picture, it looks like Sonoma County, like wine, or Napa County, like wine country. But if we're going by the actual term rural, this is not rural. This is just wine country. Rural would be like really close to nature, on the precipice of entering the woods kind of thing. Peaceful retreat and simple living. So there's something about this being removed, even in this picture and in what rural actually means. It means removing yourself or existing outside of a metropolis, outside of a suburb. This energy is connected to the rural community or close to nature in some way. It's represented by under the fresh start. So there is this energy who wanted the fresh start. There's something about a fresh start in rural country or Napa or Sonoma, or let's just say there's a fresh start that the collective was hoping for that didn't take place in a huge metropolis, a inner city, even a suburb. There's something that is removed, that you're closer to nature. There's something there there's a connection here. I can't say what it is. I keep looking at it like I want to figure it out. Okay, so then we have, the first thing I saw was reaching for the details and learning. And look at this, the lighting, candles and candles, low light and low light. Again, something during the fall had you reaching for clarification and wanting to learn how to fix your situation, how to get to the something something deeply transformative and or something highly incentivizing happened during the fall. This is the beginning of the growth that you asked for. This is the beginning, this being catalyzed forward into action or incentivized inward for self-reflection was the beginning of this journey that you've had over the last 6 or 9 months or whatever it is. 6 and 9. Well, I said 6 to 9 months, and I just saw that the numbers flipped in my head. So 6s and 9s may be numbers that are repeating in your life right now. It's not a palindrome, but it you know, a 6 is a 9 reverse, or a 9 is a 6 reverse. There's something there. But in the last 6 to 9 months, there has been a journey towards this moment, this solar eclipse, this deeply transformative moment. That's why the energy, my guides are saying they're smarter than this, and they know what they're supposed to do. Do not let this energy that's held you back for so long continue to hold you back. You've had 6 to 9 months of growth, of change, of catalyzing yourself forward, making physical changes as well as internal review over what you want to do with your life, how you want to navigate it, where you want to go, where you want to put your energy, what would truly make you happy. This energy has been holding you back for most of your life. Don't let it hold you back during this deeply transformative moment, because it's almost like you created it with the universe. You asked for it, it provided. Okay, so then we have, I saw stressed in life and caution. Such a bright card, and the first things I see is stressed in life and caution. And again, under the stagnant energy, the stress of this change may bring in these old hangups, these old, unhealed parts of your shadow. Stress in life, caution. It's spirit cautioning you that this is not the way. If it resonates with someone, I'm hearing in The Labyrinth, the movie by Jim Henson, there is a point where the main character, Sarah, there's two things that I'm thinking of. There's a main character named Sarah who walks through a door and falls down a shaft of helping hands. Okay? They're hands they made little faces like hand puppets, and she's falling down this long shaft, and they grab her. Their hands just sticking out of a wall. And they introduced themselves. They said, "Hi, we're helping hands. Where do you want to go?" In this moment, in this reading right now, there is this moment. Sarah is asked, which way do you want to go? Up or down? Okay? This is the universe being like, do you want to move forward and heal, or do you want to stay stagnant? Do you want to let this continue to control your life for the next half a year? And in this moment, this character, Sarah, says, down? And the helping hands around her are like balking. They're like, she chose down? And they're like, she chose down, and they just let her fall. The universe is saying, just because I'm bringing you in this solar energy, this deeply transformative energy, you have to want it. Because if you ignore it, if you deny it, if you pretend that you don't see it, or you're letting your shadows, your unhealed traumas pull you down, I can't save you. You have full autonomy and free will. As destiny, I can bring you in the opportunity to change your life, to make a pivotal change. This is a moment of deep transformational energy, but you still have to choose it for yourself. You still have to want it for yourself. Don't choose down. And in the next labyrinth, scene I'm seeing in my head is Sarah now navigating the underground, because she's chosen down. She's chosen to go back into her shadows, basically. And all along the way, there are these stone-like faces that talk, and they're kind of dissuading her from navigating her darkness. And they're like, no, this is not the way, kind of thing. Because she's navigating through the darkness, trying to get out. And the unhealed shadows are trying to impede her progress. So again, this is the universe being like, are you choosing up or down? If you choose down, I can't stop you from diving headlong into your unhealed shadow. But if you do, you can still navigate your way out of those shadows, and I'll present you another opportunity when you're ready. But to be clear, the universe feels like they're coming in with this deep transformational change because you called it in. Oop, hold on, my card deck is upside down. Oh, okay, well, we got the two that I needed. Okay, so the first is, I saw meeting your basic needs. That right away, meeting your basic needs. Yes, it is not selfish to put your wants and needs at the forefront. 100% for yourself. It is not selfish. It is meeting your basic needs. That is the first part of this journey. This transformative energy is going from this energy into understanding that you deserve more than what you've allowed in your life. That's not to say that you didn't experience good, but there is a very specific point in your life, collective, you know what I'm talking about. There are specific points in your life that you have allowed behaviors and people and treatment that was not okay. You deserved more. And you're realizing now, putting your wants and needs ahead of everyone else's is not selfish. That's good self-care. And that is self-love. Okay, and the other card that came out was incoming messages and phone calls. That's what I saw with this one. Right here at the bottom. Incoming messages and phone calls. So this may be an action that you were thinking about taking. Move this up a little bit. An action that you are thinking about taking this weekend during this solar energy, this eclipse, or this may be energy that's coming towards you. Bottom of the deck, I see love, romance, and couples. Bottom of the deck. This is the possibility. Let's just look at all of them. Flowers, springtime, love, romance, couples, happy, vibrant, growth, union, weddings, bloom, and grow. This is at the bottom of the deck. This is what you can't see yet, but is in your future if you allow it. I'll put that there. I know it's getting a little crowded. But we're going to end this solar eclipse reading with some more Skyrim cards and see what we have. Okay. Put those down. We'll have one in my hand and one here. The Magician. This is Farengar Secret Fire. Sorry if it's out of focus. Come on, focus. Okay. This is the Magician. You have everything that you need currently to change your life. You have the strength, the want, the desire, the need, the ambition. You have all the things that you need to bring in, to manifest, to change your life, your reality, and how you see the world. You already have that in you. This is what the solar energy is trying to like bring forward, to help you understand. Then we have Olava as the Wheel of Fortune. These two energies, oh my gosh, I just hear, you already have everything to change your life. Just trust yourself, take the step forward, and you will not fail. That's what I hear. When you invest in yourself, when you love yourself, when you trust yourself to move forward to what's better for you, better treatment, better job, better friend dynamic, better relationship dynamic, better family dynamic, you will not lose. Self-help and self-care is not always easy, but it is always beneficial. And that is the reading for today for that solar energy. Thank you so much for taking the time to be present during this read. I know it was long, and I really try to make the readings shorter, but I get here and it just doesn't happen. So, that just may be my shtick. I may be someone who is just a very wordy reader, and that's okay. Thank you for stopping by. This is Rabbit and Moon. My name is Angel, and I will see you next reading, and enjoy this transformative solar eclipse.